All right, welcome to another edition of XFeed. My name is The Schiller. If you haven't seen on the timeline today, holy heck, Yuga Labs drama once again with Faraway. The people that just bought the IP from them was gifted. I feel like we don't even know any of the details about it. Here is a Charizard card for you, a little bit shiny, not too bad. If this is your first time tuning in, what's up? My name is Schiller. We cover NFTs, Web3, all that kind of stuff every single day, Monday through Friday, just for the fun of it. Because what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? My goodness. So the other day, I think we've known that Trump's been all about taking cryptocurrency donations, at least as of a week or so ago, making the headlines. And then just a few hours ago, coming from the block, Biden campaign and talks to accept crypto donations through Coinbase Commerce sources. Okay, we don't know who the hell the sources are. But with that being said, very, very interesting, as some candidates have been somewhat against crypto, or at least that's the perceived notion of it. Others are like, whatever. But either way, again, still a major point for this. And I saw somebody yesterday make a very good point highlighting that the thoughts of how big crypto are like kind of true, but kind of not. Like, the people that are in it are super passionate about it, but there is only a small subset. Obviously, Binance has 200 million users across the globe, which is a lot. But again, your average person is not somebody who's tuning into the show. Probably not anybody that even owns crypto. Insane. But for the people trying to onboard those different individuals, Iggy Azalea talking about the phone the other day, where she has a phone company, apparently. Unreal service for Unreal Creatures. The new Unreal mobile site is live now, and it's promised in addition to the standard dollar payments, we have added crypto, including Mother, of course, as a checkout option. Now, clicking out and checking the site here, it's a very unique branding comparatively to what you see with the traditional world, right? These are almost what you would say NFT style arts, maybe. Can we say that? Is that even like an art style? Some people would find that offensive if you said, yeah, your art looks like NFTs. Unbelievable. But a lot of people would be like, no, that's the best there can be. So clicking over on the plans, though, the mini, apparently for 5 gigabytes a month with a 1 gigabyte hotspot of data, $15 a month, 20 gigs a month with 5 gigabytes of a hotspot out of 25. Listen, these plans seem friggin' cheap comparatively to what we got over here in Canada. So maybe gonna have to hook up the Azalea on the mobile front and have to buy the Mother token. Unbelievable. Atari God, what's going on? Look what they took from us. Look at this. Unbelievable. The MacBook used to have all the different outlets, and slowly but surely, they gone. Yo, they gone. It's crazy, dude. And this was a pretty funny comments on there where it just showed how you need to buy all of the extensions because all these people are just looking for money. Unbelievable. So Rice Farmer brings this up, and I forgot to mention it yesterday. I knew about it, didn't think about it in the moment, but he's saying, so Yuga bought Moonbirds just to change the art and delete it from the existence and release another normal non-CCO project. So if anybody didn't know, for Moonbirds, they were like, hey, we're going to go CCO because for whatever reason, I forget what it was. It wasn't nouns. There was some kind of collection out there where suddenly it was like a cool thing to do the CCO, and you can just like right click NFTs. You don't have to worry about all these extra legal things, yada, yada, yada. And again, people that hold or held different Moonbirds assets, a couple of them did have deals already set up for it. Maybe it was Xcopy, but is Xcopy CCO? I don't even know. Either way, that is something to mention of why Yuga was doing those new Moonbird art styles. That's something that I didn't mention during yesterday or the day before show. And I got called out for that, Geo. So thank you for that. Top Shot Tony, if you're still into NBA Top Shot and plan on holding through all of this, we should be following each other. Okay, that's unbelievable. Because when you think about it, right? If I'm collecting these Charizard cards, right, that we mentioned right off the rip, right? I'm not thinking like, yeah, I'm going to sell this, right? Like I bought a pack. These are just for a collection. I have zero interest in selling that as of currently. Now, other collections or maybe the old Magic cards I'm not too much into. Sure, but what I actually want, I'm not going to sell. So it's funny to think about in this perspective that there is the, hey, we want to buy these things because we want to flip it, et cetera, et cetera. But at the same time, there's a large majority of people across all of these collections that are just, hey, I like it, I'm not going to sell, and you don't need to worry about that. Now, Bill Noble, absolutely love watching Bill Noble's content. He streams quite often as well. And he shared this last night saying somebody is getting liquidated. And the tweet was from Gareth Soloway saying, rumors swirling that the big banks are dumping bad loans as they know another financial crisis is nearing. Mortgage-backed securities and CRE loans all whacked. Listen, whenever you see on the timeline financial crisis, oh my goodness. I don't know if you guys have seen, apparently in like Miami, there is like a flash flood that's like a super catastrophic thing. I was scrolling on my timeline right before this and I was like, oh my goodness. So if you got anybody in Miami, Florida, make sure to check on them if you haven't seen the news. Unless I got hoodwinked and I just saw somebody that was posting for engagement, which would have been awful, but I think it was legit. Where's Harry Swan and your buddy that loves fluffs? Listen, everybody loves fluffs, and I have no idea where Harry Swan is. You know what? Harry Swan sent me a message earlier today, and he said it was mail day. You know what happens on mail day? The Pokemon cards come in the mail. Fantastic. You get to see what you get. Sahil here with a very interesting post talking about the collection we talk so much about on here regarding Futureverse, and he says, follow the money if you want to earn some honey. Hilarious. Anywho, it goes back to articles from back in 2024 saying Disney invests $1.5 billion in Epic to create persistent universe tied to Fortnite. Well, that's kind of interesting. And in the tweet going further, just saying, investing that amount to create an expansive open games and entertainment universe is not a small feat, in my opinion. Their metaverse-like project will allow for consumers to play, watch, shop, and engage with content, characters, and stories from Disney, Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, Avatar, and more. And Fluff's been linked to Avatar a whole bunch. Obviously, there's the Avatar skin with that, but I think there was some different individuals that might have been associated with Avatar that was talked about. Star Wars, I mean, we've seen Aaron leak a whole bunch of different photos around Star Wars wearables on party bears, etc. And these other big players, again, they're just waiting to get into the space with the correct people that are going to have a solid project that people are going to like, which when we talked about yesterday with Disney Pinnacle, that's a variation of it, right? And then talking about Tim Sweeney at Epic also said, we're collaborating on something entirely new to build a persistent, open, and interoperable ecosystem that will bring together the Disney and Fortnite communities. Again, Tim Sweeney, Epic Games founder and CEO, highlights some other things within here where he says looks fun. And it's just basically a big thread talking about all these different things. And I'm like, damn, if this actually happens, guys, we found the good one. We found the good one that might be the greatest that ever did it. Insert Pokemon. You know what I mean? Gotta catch them all. Okay, enough of that. Board film. When you see a collection can raise its floor price independently from devs, the real summer of this collection will begin. So far, only CryptoPunks had achieved this. Bored Ape Yacht Club has this potential. So just the conversational point here is being brought up regarding, what's up, G Honey, the aspect of collections, people that are associated within these communities are able to do a lot. So Atari, here's a good example. You've been around for a whole bunch of the different spaces as you're saying, hey, like I'm with Austin for Doodles. I'm with Nan Soul over on, I guess, wait, that's Doodles too. Wasn't there another collection? Either way, the point being is that there's all these people that are doing something that's associated with a certain collection, and you kind of, you almost have a mental note of like, oh, okay, like that collection, is show host. They got these cool things. I kind of like appreciate that. You know what? I kind of like the Doodles brand a little bit more because I tune into that person's show. Or, for here, if you end up potentially liking my tweets, if you're watching, you can say, okay, like that is PFP, Pixels of the Ape. Okay, like I'm not super familiar with that. Oh, it's something to do with Futureverse. Okay, I have a little bit of a better connotation with that. And then it's one step further when these people are creating the merch, when they're creating the beverage brands, the foods, yada, yada, yada. Definitely agree with the post, and it does show kind of the opportunities because in Web3, you are able to get funded. You are able to find customers in an easier way where, again, you're not stuck just opening a shop on the corner being like, hey, I hope the hell this works out. True. Okay, so do you guys remember Arcade.land? This was the collection that I always tell the story about how I reached out to them when they originally launched, and they were like, yeah, we're too busy. And I'm like, okay, dude, that's fine. And then it felt like nothing was going on. Nobody was into it. They had the partnership with Yuga that originally got them a whole bunch of attention, and I forget what exactly it was, if it was from like a grant program or something, but there was some connection within there, and it's been very, very quiet on the Arcade land aspect, but then all of a sudden, apparently they're launching with Blast, and I'm like, oh, checking it out again. We got 90,000 followers. This must be doing pretty good. And then you go to their timeline, and it's just them retweeting all of the social campaigns from everyone else that's been doing this for the past several days nonstop. Can't find any info, just retweet upon retweet about retweet of I claim this air token. I don't know. I mean, it looks kind of scammy when somebody does that. Maybe they're trying to bring attention to it. Again, it's been very quiet. Never knew what the hell was going on with it, but things are moving. If you guys are also able to like the video, you're a freaking gem. Drew Lawson here. This isn't fake. This is the enjoyment people get from opening a pack of digital sports cards and from NBA Top Shot and hitting an awesome one. And this is, again, just kind of reaffirming, as we're seeing on the timeline, trying to have two touching points with this, where people are happy collecting. When it's just collecting something, we get to see kind of what the tokenized aspect of things can do. And it's really, really cool to see amongst all this craze of, hey, we're hoping to make flips and stuff, that people are actually enjoying just collecting things digitally in a little bit of a different way. Mr. Believins.root, he was over at the XRP. What the hell do we call that? Apex, XRPL Apex. There we go. And he was watching Shen talk about Gen 3 games, where they said that they are bringing Untamed Isles to the Root network and also having Zertmon, and it's going to be available on Steam, which is kind of neat because we've seen more and more times where people are looking at other platforms that aren't only Web3 related. And so that, I mean, obviously bodes well for the Untamed Isles aspect. This maybe is like the Pokemon version. You know, everybody's trying to do like this Monster Hunter type variant, as we're seeing lately. And so is Untamed Isles going to be like the Root Network variation of that? We're going to have to see. This also looks kind of bad because there's nothing that's been posted on it. I don't know if the collection ended up getting stopped, if Futureverse ended up acquiring it, what the deals behind it all are. But either way, still very exciting to see the couple different games coming on the chain that we follow a ton. So Lana here, having a little bit of a breakdown for RWAs. Yo, Rodney Mullins. Do you know my man Rodney Mullins? What's going on? You got Steam.root? Well, you just became a Root millionaire. Hell yeah. Can we like the Twitch video or just X? Atari, I think it's only on the X and YouTube, but you know, it's the thought. Listen, it's the thought that counts. Appreciate you. You're a gem. And within here, they highlight different aspects of things. And within physical goods, they got this thing called Collector. Okay. Hands up in the classroom if any of you heard about Collector before. Okay, not me. Well, until today, and I found out that they do Magic. Well, sorry. They have Magic cards, they have Pokemon cards, they have, I believe, some different sports cards that they're starting to get into as well, and they actually got promoted on the Magic Eden Marketplace, and it's making me go back to the original thoughts we had, right? Of, oh my god, what if you can supercharge collecting, and the things you love to get, you can either get rewarded all the time where it's not just your local store, or something more. And you get a bonus of extra diamonds with Magic Eden. And I thought, damn, that's really cool. Now, what's further cool about this is if you're wanting to see me interview this guy, this is what the session that we have coming up this week on RWA segments. If you guys check in the YouTube description or in my X bio, we do have the link to it. I've interviewed Luca. We've interviewed people tokenizing watches, real estates, all that kind of stuff. This is somebody that's doing Pokemon cards, the thing that we just got into. So it was a very exciting conversation. We ended up recording this morning. Super brilliant guy. Maybe we'll try to get him on the stream just to talk about some other random things, because he's been in the space for a long time. Even talked about minting Bored Apes. So again, if you guys are wanting to learn a little bit more about this platform, be sure to check out the podcast, and that'll be out on Tuesday of next week. Now, some good news here. I think, wag me, maybe. True. Ripple saying introducing Ripple USD, a 1-to-1 USD-backed stablecoin offering transparency and stability on the XRP ledger and Ethereum. Coming, drum roll please, later this year. Nice. So going back to people that are in the Root network that's staking right now, again, every single transaction for anything's got a little bit of a fee on it. On top of the Vortex going to be earning rewards. Man, the rewards for the early stakers could be absolutely unbelievable. And this is where we're talking about, hey, there's tokens out there that do have specific utility. Obviously it's down, but when you compare it to everything else, the market cap of like 50 mil, and everybody's saying, hey, here's all these things that are at $1 billion market cap that are undervalued. They're saying that. Well, we got Ripple. And like, what is it? Like 10% of Futureverse or something? They're gonna be pushing. Yeah, listen, they're gonna be pushing it. It's gonna be huge. True. Okay, Spark C, is crypto game dying? Guys, when was the last time you played a crypto game? Be honest with me. Probably not. Soon, a while ago, never. What's numbers at? 95% of teams have no idea how their initial customers, speculators think. Okay. The VCs funding them are no better. Okay. We're just ripping on everybody's intellect today. Most are building Web2, but worse clones, probably. Traders are clueless and throw money at doomed games. Well, listen, I feel that most people have no idea what's going to be like a doomed games. And you've heard all the stories of, the heroes, we've been building this for 3 years and we got no traction. Then all of a sudden, boom, bang, bang, we're everywhere, mainstream, #1 game in the world, all these crazy things. Yo, Gianni, you played a crypto game today. Hell yeah, we got one person. That's what we like to see. That's the true believer. Despite that, I feel optimistic. Okay, true. Because there's a minority, excuse me, in the space who are innovating on crypto integration, taking the time to understand the space and building a fresh gaming experience. Now, to talk about the innovating on crypto integration is something that I want to kind of relate back to the podcast interview that we had today regarding the guy that was here's a Reshiram that was tokenizing Pokemon cards on the chain, and we were just like talking about how this works from just a mainstream operation, because I used the reference. I said, okay, so when I got into crypto, I just ended up on Ethereum because when I was looking at the crypto wallets, I got a MetaMask. MetaMask didn't have any kind of Solana integrations with it. Obviously, you deal with the exchange, you send your ETH over, and you can kind of, mess around, node a little bit. And I think actually, even with NBA Top Shot, their only off-ramp option was to ETH at that point. And so I didn't have familiarity with anything else. And so I'm like, okay, I'm somebody that was kind of, I guess, like into DeFi, and I figured it out how to get onto Solana because their platform was there. But how does it work when you guys are trying to make these integrations? And not only do people need to kind of have like an understanding of this, they might learn about one wallet when they need another one. And like, how are you going to be doing these integrations to make it more and more simpler? And he kind of was talking about different things that they're trying to do, but still looking for the right protocols and people to be able to help facilitate that. And I was like, okay, so there's still innovation that's needed in the space for stuff that is truly getting built. It's kind of nuts. I was playing that Cypher Odyssey game and couldn't figure out the value prop, played about 8 minutes. That's the best thing, eh? You're like, hey, I'm going to go try this crypto game. Going to be fun. 5 minutes later, never touching it again. True. Buffalo Space, yo, you're grinding GOG right now. This man is a whale. I actually have... I need to see if I can find it. This is probably something that I shouldn't attempt to do live. Let me scroll here. No, that's not going to work. Okay, I give up. So I was going to do a video about the original Guild Guardians. And what I mean by original is the way that it was initially released was you were like these playable characters that you kind of used like a joystick, and you attacked, you had flips, you could do combos. And now it's just kind of like a turn-based strategy game in a way. And so I wanted to play that at some point. You reminded me of it. But how is it? Are you enjoying it? Are you making $1 bajillion? Have you bought all the assets? Are you renting? Are you making money on crypto gaming? I need to know. Unbelievably so. True. Keep it on going here. We got Derek with another tweet about it. Reasons why crypto gaming hasn't gone mainstream despite $10 billion in funding. Guys, we have $10 billion of funding and you're funding. Are you friggin' kidding me? Games are clones of Web2 games, but worse. We just heard that take. Did that guy steal that thread? Web2 players hate NFTs. True. Which also don't enhance their gaming experience. Yeah, but I mean, listen, the other day, the whole Call of Duty thing, when they're like, hey, you can't take the skin that you guys just bought. Like, what if I went and I started playing Call of Duty right now and I bought a skin? And then all of a sudden they're like, nah, bro. Sorry, we got a new game. It's over. Unbelievable. By extension, Web2 content creators are disincentivized to support crypto. I feel that there's just like a lot of things that aren't good. Like, can you imagine if you had the best and biggest streamers of the world that was pushing some of the stuff that's come out? Dude, we would be so dead right now. It would be unbelievable. Oh, right. We already are. So that would be really bad. But I don't know if I necessarily agree with that take overall. Lack of innovation with the thing that makes crypto games unique. Yeah, would generally agree with that. Games take a very long time to build. Holy smokes, did we ever learn that a lot? Learn the amount of things you learn being in the blockchain space. Unbelievable. Meaning long learning cycles on PMF. Games are hits based, so most fail. Okay. Blockchain UX sucks. Gas fees, wallets. Yeah, true. Reasons why it will succeed. Billions invested into great teams who will figure it out. Yo, we keep saying wag me down the river. You know what I mean? We each got a paddle. We've carved it in with our names. We're paddling on board. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yo, you have a bunch of GOG. I haven't touched it. Much lag. Oh my goodness. Is the stream lagging or is it something else? Yo, let me know if we're here. Testing. I'm just suggesting. Not making money, lol. I had a bunch of legendary heroes from early on. I could sell probably for a loss, not even sure. See, that's the thing, is like we get excited for these games, and then like they come out, and then you don't have any price action on the assets, and you're like, yeah, you know, I thought the launch was gonna do well. Yeah, we got a problem, Houston. First crypto game I played was Krabata on AVAX. Yo, I feel like I remember that game. Obviously, it was about crabs, and I think they went for like Krabata was the wolf game of AVAX. Would that be like the right description for it? I feel like it is. Chat lag. Oh, chatting lags. Stop. Nah, it's not great. Apologies. Yeah, you look fine. No lag for me. Okay, cool. I jammed some Gods Unchained for a bit. Dude, I was into that, and then it just felt like, you know what I mean? Like it was cool. It was cool. And it was like, okay, this is just like any other card game. Why would I grind extra time into it when there's every other option in the world? And that's like a legitimate thought that I had with things. And I think at the same time, if you guys remember Parallel, there was a whole bunch of people, including Jeremy, who was very excited about Prime. And everybody was saying, yo, this is undervalued. And man, the avatars took off, the token took off, everything took off. And it was like, damn, that's cool. And that might be damn well the TCG to take us to the top. But I think it's probably one of like the most noticeable ones as of right now. And speaking of noticeable people, if you've ever played League of Legends, he's noticeable because he's ranked as MVP in every single match. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not good with 41 months. Pog. Thank you, friend. Matty Vert's here. Beeple single-handedly started the 2021 NFT bull run. And this is in quotes, okay? And he's saying, no, Beeple is a legend, but punks, hash masks, Top Shot, Nifty Gateway, Crypto 10xing, and DeFi food coin season, along with Rarible. And the 1 to 3 years of build momentum before this was the cause of the 2021 NFT bull run. I kind of agree. Like, I don't really think that Beeple was like the cause of the run. I think that a lot of people can use that as a mark of saying, hey, look, somebody bought an NFT for millions and millions of dollars. But at the same time, think about how that's been with the other 10K PFP collections that had that happen with Onivorous, World of Women. Most people associate that with, that's a wash trade, that's a total scam. For whatever reason, they don't think that, well, I mean, some people might with that original like Beeple sale, and the story behind it's kind of insane. But it is kind of good to note the narratives and things that we think like, oh yeah, that's the reason people bought in, where it's like, yeah, was it though? I don't know. Now, we've talked about Top Shot probably more than any other episode we ever have today. So if you love Top Shot, hell yeah. But this is an interesting take that I agree with, and I'm using this as reference because I feel that this is like a lot of different collections. Top Shot loses interest in YouTube channel, bad decision. Last activity is December 20th of 2023. And I don't understand why there isn't more content on other platforms. I mean, obviously with TikTok, people are kind of concerned of like, hey, do you build out an account and then suddenly the US bans the account? You know what I mean? Or the application. But the point being is just why is there not more things out there for the outreach? We've seen the people that have done that have done it quite successfully. And again, insane fundings behind everything. So it just feels weird that there's not something going into, but I guess teams are trying to work as lean as possible to stop their burn rate, because apparently building stuff in Web3 is expensive. Gods Unchained funded my whole degen life on ETH pretty much. Oh my god, did it actually? That's insane. What was the What was like the catalyst? Was it just like the prices went crazy, or what was the dealio? Got lucky in like 2017 when it was first out and sold a card for like 6 ETH. Never mind. If I just continued to read your comment, I wouldn't have had to ask a question and look like a complete idiot, and I just ignore what I just said. Fantastic. My first W was the Multiverse of Greg. Do you remember that? I do not. Unbelievable. I put about 6 ETH in Top Shot at probs 0.01 now. Yeah. Listen, it's tough out here. All right, Adam Oetzman here highlighting that somebody is acting as a scammer and DMing him. Ladies, and you see this microphone? Don't get caught by a scammer. Okay, cool. There we go. Now, see, saw the microphone? Now the microphone's back down here. Be careful. You get it. You get message from any. Listen, if I ever DM you, just pretend that it's not. We got to have like a safe word. We got to have like some kind of a secret word that we mention. Maybe it's Pokemon. It's gonna be too obvious. Just realize you got friends out there. Anything that you get is suspicious. I see on Facebook all the time people posting on like these marketplaces that look like evident scams or saying, hey, here's a situation. Yeah, I got scammed. Like these things are so obvious. Sometimes it's not as obvious. Always just listen, think with the noggin. Okay, this is absolutely unbelievable, and we got to have a couple of different takes on this. So Far Away, right? The people that bought Legends of the Mara and Heavy Metal from Yuga announced that they are doing lands. Guys, can you tell me what this looks like? I'm asking as a friend. Can you tell me what this NFT that's not a Yuga product looks like? It looks thank you. It looks exactly like Other Side. That's what we're going for. And this is the problem of the day, because everybody's saying, oh my goodness, this is going to cause so much confusion. And I totally agree, because these look very similar. Obviously, there is the conversation to be had about, hey, they bought the IP of Legends of the Mara and Heavy Metal. They have to do something that's kind of similar, because if they do something totally different, well, does it still have that original Yuga look? And I've kind of been harsh on the name changes of things, and like the fact that it's not Yuga anymore and it's Far Away, and it felt like there was just going to be this huge big fall off and drama, and obviously the Moonbird situation that just happened in this, and it's just like, oh my goodness. But anyway, let's go over the tweet and then the reactions from everybody. Voyagers, it's time to talk about lands. Introducing Paradis, the new off-chain land of Legends of the Mara. And Rift, the off-chain land of Heavy Metal. That's right, heavies are joining the fight against the Shattered. Basic lands will be purchasable, and the Legends of the Mara Season 3.5 leaderboard will reward top players with both Platinum Premium Paradis and Rift lands. So people are getting lands. Okay, cool. They talk about different placements and how you can get extra rewards from it. At the end of the season, lands will also be awarded to players with legendary and epic point modifiers won from chests, so get those drops while they can. There's different land tiers with it, yada, yada, yada. I don't want to go through like everything here, but people just absolutely went completely nuts over this. Now, I want to start off with some kind of, positive here. Gregory saying, respect to Far Away. As a founder, I understand the challenges they're facing. They inherited an IP in trouble and saw it as a chance to prove their worth. With that comes the baggage of unhappy customers from the past. Let's give them the time they need to find their footing. Don't rush to judge every move they make. I don't even know what to say on these things. I really don't, because everybody that got into the collections before, the experiences were pretty god-awful, and then Far Away is like, hey, we'll take the IP. Half the people are completely pissed. You probably got, 500 gamers that are a part of this, and I don't know how much funding they potentially have from it. I don't know the ins and outs of gaming, right? I'll be totally honest with you guys whenever possible. My limits are hey, I don't know. We talk about the things that we think are cool. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but it just feels like, why go through all these things? You're purchasing something that most people don't like. You're going to have to put something behind it. How do you get that mass adoption? Do you make things completely worthless, and then people will say, oh, that's a bargain? I remember when these are there and you can get a whole bunch of revenue things. The aspect of the blockchain gaming and these takeovers, because this is like a community takeover, but with I would say like a way more competent team, so it should work. But you go through all these bats of like problems or things that go badly, and then that first impression everybody has, it's just friggin' out the window. It's unbelievable. Alex here is saying, and again, Alex is a part of Faraway. By the way, one important thing we forgot about our heavy metal community: each heavy will get a free tier 1 Rift land to start off for season 4 if you don't already own an other deed. So it's kind of weird that like, hey, we're trying to look after people that are having other deeds because you need it for Legends of the Mara, but at the same time, we're going to need to introduce these more new lands, and then it makes me think, okay, the game's going to progress to a continuous, we're just attacking, trying to get points on a leaderboard with maybe not much actual gameplay behind it, because again, the games don't have anything to it. It's just like a time ticker. If you had like an AI agent, okay, the games kind of make sense. Otherwise, it's just waiting for the most part. You know what I mean? Aaron just tweeted 6/2024, get ready, degens, assuming Gen launches that day. Wait, what? Hold on a minute. Hold on. Listen, we're trying to talk about something else here, and you guys are bringing up Futureverse. Unbelievable. 26/24. So that's in a couple of days here. Get ready, degens. Okay, so it's not like it's not degens, it's degens. You know what I mean? El comprende. So it's like DJ. Yeah. Ends. Yeah. Hell yeah. You know, it's scratching. True. Okay. So back to the topic here with Yuga. Josh X saying, wait, so Yuga didn't authorize a similar look and feel to their land to other side? And then Garga, CEO of Yuga, says no. He says no. So what we just saw a second ago that Faraway is doing with the land look was not approved from Yuga at all. And it feels like if this was something that they didn't think was a big deal, there would be no reason for him to tweet this, right? We're in a time when everybody's sitting behind that keyboard being like, if I say a certain take, I'm going to end up having an absolute brawl on the timeline. And you're sitting there like, I want to bet $50, $50. You know what I mean? And so this could be fighting words. We'll see, but it could be fighting words. Further topic saying from Garga again, hey, their lands have nothing to do with the 3D other side. It's just Faraway Legends of the Mara stuff. Spend almost all of my time right now making shit happen for other side and literally did not even know Faraway were doing this. Not related. So again, I guess kind of shows, hey, once they sold that, again, completely cut off. They've talked about how they're trying to want to work in collaboration in a way. So it feels that comment is a little sideways. You know what I mean? Like if you're like, hey, we're trying to work together, gonna, have this symbiotic relationship. Why is the no tweet and this tweet even a thing if that is the case? In the Faraway Discord, they explain that better. They talked with Garga. It's all good. Okay, cool. See, this is the thing. We see it on the timeline. I'm like, man, I don't know if I need to be hyperbolic about all this and have an absolute conniption on stream or if it's all good and dandy. You know what I mean? Picking the roses. Absolutely love it. Thank you for the insights, though. And Trader Pop's Futureverse to the world. True. And a little bit of a teaser here, or some gameplay from Star Atlas, one of the collections that, again, we're here in the early days having this grand vision for this massive blockchain integrated world, specifically like a space MMORPG type deal. Looks good. Very excited. We got Illuvium cooking. We got this going. We got what's going on with Futureverse. Hopefully the other side is a hit when that comes out, because again, their playtests have brought thousands. But that's going to be it for this edition of XFeed. I hope you guys enjoy this as per usual. Again, I'd like to challenge you to try to type out what per usual is. Is it like PERUS? Per usual. Try to spell per usual. If you can do that, listen, you're a better man than I. Atari God, Buffalo Space, Rodney Mullins. Have you met my man, Rodney Mullins? Trader Pops, G Honey on the money. Buffalo, I think I've already said you a whole bunch. And Divine Hypnotone, wag me. Factual. And if Harry